everyone. So, first of all, if you're watching this, I want to thank you for taking the time. So, I've had this gun about a year and a half. I don't consider myself a great shooter. I got into reloading a little over a couple of years ago. Got my first gun about 5 or 6 years ago now. It's a hobby I enjoy. It's relaxing, it's fun, it's frustrating, as a lot of you know. So it took me a little over a year to finally get my load down for this gun that I'm happy with. The last time I took it out, I shot the best group I've ever shot out of this gun. So today I'm going to load up another 100 rounds, just like I shot before, and test them again. So I have another video on YouTube that shows each step, but in the video I didn't really explain what I was doing in each step, so I figured today I'd make another video and show you explain step by step what I'm doing during each process. So this was the group last time that I went out. That was 4 shots at 100 yards. I'm using a Ruger Precision 308 first gen with a Vortex Viper PST first gen with the first focal plane on it. The bullets that I'm using, which I really like, they are the Sierra 168 grain hollow bolt tail match bullets. Work really well out of this gun. They're a Missouri company, which I like because I'm from Missouri, so for me that's even better to support somebody local. I'm using Varget powder, which works really well in the gun, as well as in my ARs. And then for the brass, I'm using Starline brass. This is brand new, never fired brass, which is what I used last time. Same thing, they're a Missouri company, they're right across the street with me from Sierra Bullets, so again, it's a great product, I'm happy with it, plus they're a local company, so I get to support somebody here in the state of Missouri where I live at. So, let's get started. So, even though this is brand new, never fired brass, it still needs to be resized first. You'll see things like in the mouth of the case, it's not perfectly round. So the only step you're not going to see me do is to clean this brass, because obviously it's brand new brass. There's no need for me to run it through my stainless steel media and clean it. So that's the only step you're not going to see, is me cleaning the brass that was already done for me. What I like to use is Hornady one-shot case lube. Works really well. There's lots of different ways of doing it. I'm doing it the same way I did last time because, again, I'm trying to repeat everything that I did last time and hopefully get the same results when I take the gun back out. This stuff, you gotta shake it up good. Once you get it shaken up, I like to basically just go along each row and do it and just rotate the holder around. I go to about a 45-degree angle. Now that I got my brass lubed up, I'm going to resize it. What I'm using is the Redding deluxe die set. I'm using their folding 3-sizing die to resize this brass. I I've done the last couple years after Christmas is go to Walmart, because whatever Christmas containers they have after Christmas you can find them half off. I use them for things like this as I'm moving brass from container to container or storing, say, 100 rounds at a time. They're perfect for that. I can put a note in there saying how many times the brass has been fired, any other notes I want to put with it. So I'm always on the lookout for good deals. Alright, I've got all the brass. It's been resized. Now, one thing I like to do after I resize it before I move on to the next step, I put it on an old towel and just rub it around to make sure that I get any kind of glue that might still be on there off of the case, since I don't need that on there anymore and I just don't want it affecting anything. Like I said, I try to do the same thing every time, so don't like to skip any steps. Even something like this, so I just rub it around there for a couple minutes, and you can kind of feel it once you know that you've got the lube off of it. Okay, so now my next step, once I get it all resized, is I trim my brass. So in reloading, you want consistency, or as close to that as you can get. So when I got working this brass, it's brand new. After resizing it, though, there is variances in the length of your brass. So I want to trim it all to where I can make it the same size. So this brass is sized now anywhere from 2.003 to 2.006. Book shows 2.005. Sammy, I can load lower than that. Since I'm looking for consistency, I'm going to do just like I did last time. I'm going to trim everything to 2.003. As you can see, hopefully you can see that. 2.0035 is what that case measures before I trim it. And hopefully you can see that. That measures 2.006. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim all of them to 2.003. I really like this L.E. Wilson hand case trimmer. You buy the different collets to put the brass in, depending on the size of what you're shooting, and then they make them. Some of them are for new brass, and some are for once fired brass because of what it does to the case, so it will not fit in here if it's been fired. Basically, you tap it down. This has, I don't know if you can see it, the micrometer setting on there, so you can adjust it. It's very accurate. It keeps the case perfectly centered while you're trimming it, which is another thing that I really like. Basically locks this in place. I haven't adjusted this since the last time I used it, so it should be set up just like it was last time. See, hopefully you can see that. Now it's at 2.003, and that's what I'm going to trim the rest of these at. Okay, so now I have all my cases trimmed to the same length. What I'm going to do is I have the Frankfurt Arsenal Case Prep Center, and what I'm going to do is chamfer and I deburr as well, just out of habit, just make sure I do it every time. And what I'm basically doing is you're going to open up the mouth of the case, so as you're seating the bullet, it goes in correctly, and you're not shaving off some of the copper jacket as you're seating your bullet. So that's what this step's going to do. So you take care of all that. Probably can't see it, but there's a little groove in there where it's opening up, so now my bullet's going to slide in there a lot better, and I'm not going to shave any of it off. Okay, so now my brass is resized. trimmed, chamfered, and deburred. So my next step is I'm going to be inserting my primers. And I just use a typical primer and using large rifle primers. You want to make sure that your primer sits in there flush. Test it on a flat surface just to make sure. So now I'm going to put primers in all 100 cases. Okay, so now I've got my brass. It's fully processed, it's primed, and it's ready for powder. So what I'm doing, I'm using, based off my last time at the range, I'm going to use 43.2 grains of Varget, and that's because I got my best groupings out of this gun so far, so that's what I'm going to go with again. The scale, normally I use this for load development because every 10 rounds or so I'm changing the amount of powder. Right now I don't really have a good manual powder dispenser, so until I get that, I'm going to use this. This thing's a little finicky sometimes at first. There's the straw trick, which are videos on YouTube of what that is. So the first few times it may overthrow it, so I get it done. I always turn this on and let it warm up for about 10 minutes, and then use the scales that came with it to calibrate it. So here we go. So as you can see, like every 10 rounds, I will use a different scale to make sure that my powder coming out of my Hornady powder dispenser is staying accurate and true. It's just a double check, which it's never a bad thing when it comes to reloading. So I'll do that every 10, maybe sometimes every 20 rounds if everything seems to be running good and I'm not running into any issues. Same thing. Make sure your surface is flat for your scales, and make sure you have some kind of weights that you can put on there to verify. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do before I seat my bullets, everything is ready to go. Every gun's different, every throat, everything is different, every bullet is different, so if you switch bullets, you need to do this with each bullet. So these are Sierra 168 grain. If I would go to a 180 grain bullet, I would need to do this again. Last time I was measuring 2.2395 to my Ojai. What I do is, on this gun, I found it's best to back off 20 thousandths. So, but just so you know, and there's no need for me to do this, I'm building the same bullet I did before, but this is an overall length gauge. You put a bullet in here. This is a modified case, 5-for-inch caliber that you want to do this with. And it's got this other separate rod. You slide it into your chamber. And you push this until it makes contact with your rifle. You tighten that set screw down. Sometimes once you push that in, I think I'm going to, since it's the same bullet I loaded last time, I'm going to load it to the same. My die is set up from last time I reloaded, hasn't been touched, so I'm going to load these at the same length to my O-drive as I did the last one. I bought them at the same time, just two different sets of boxes. So if you can see that, hopefully you can read those numbers. I went ahead and took a couple more readings. I'm getting 2.2510 and around there. So 20 thousandths off will be 2.23. That's what I had my die set up at the last time, so that's why I'm going to just leave them like that. That should be 20 thousandths, give or take. And I don't think enough to make a difference the way that I shoot. So we're going to go ahead and load these up. Okay, so as you can see, I'm ready to start seating my bullets, and that's going to be my final step. Since it is a bolt action, there's no need to crimp the bullets. If it was like my 223 ARs, I would do that. For this, I'm using the Forster's ultramicrometer seating die, which is consistent. Plus, the way the sleeve rides with the bullet, it helps to limit my run out, so I'm getting more consistent ammo. And then my favorite bullet is the Sierra 168 grain hollow bolt tail match is what I'm going to load, which is, like I said, the exact same thing that I loaded last time. That's exactly where I want to be, so I'll measure the first couple just to make sure, and then every 10th or 20th one I measure again, just to make sure nothing's happening with my die. It shouldn't move. I don't touch the top of it or adjust anything while I'm seating bullets, so I'm going to run the rest of them like this. Okay, so here's the results from that ammo that I loaded up the other day. I went out Friday. These were hero shot prone. These five shot groups were shot sitting from the bench, and this here is the feet per second that went with each group. Basically where it is on the paper is where it's actually at on the target. I wanted to see how I was doing as far as that went. These other groups here that are on the bottom, those were shot prone as well. I'm not overly happy. I don't know. There's a couple factors. I don't think the wind, it was fairly windy that day, but I still don't think that played into it much. I think it was more me. I hadn't shot in a few months. I forgot my bipod, which I'd used last time. I was using a Caldwell rest for the front and then a bag for the back. This was my, obviously, by far my best 3-shot group in a row. This was, I believe this was my first shot here. Second shot was in the middle. Third shot, fourth shot. So that was 3 straight, which after it's said and done was .1025. So, I mean, that's as good as I'm probably ever going to shoot. It's just trying now to get all 5 of these to be touching. I'm very happy with that. I still think this ammo is the right ammo for this gun. In the video, you could tell that I told you I was going to seat my bullets the same O-drive as I did before, even though it was a new box of bullets, and some of the readings I was getting when I was taking them, I didn't think it would make much of a difference, but obviously it did. So I'm going to, next time, I'm going to still use the same amount of powder, trim my brass the same length. Just the only thing different I'm going to do is make sure that I am seating the 20 thousandths off of my lands and try it again. Thanks for watching.